good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Now, this has been prolonged a little bit because I'm not going to lie to you. People ask me, why haven't you played City of Wolves or why aren't you playing it? Well, there's two things. I don't want any games that are incomplete, and I wasn't playing about not supporting this season pass stuff anymore. Give me a complete game or I'm not going to play it. If you add on or you tack on anything outside of paying to enter a competition, like $1 to enter a competition and you start a prize pool, I'm not getting the game anymore. I'm not paying for it. Anything you add to the game at this point needs to be free. Y'all went OD, y'all went overdone. So now I'm not paying anymore. Tekken, I don't go back to Tekken because the minute they said, hey y'all, Hahachi's back, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I went to him to see how he plays, or I was in training mode to play against him. Said, nah man, you didn't purchase him. What you mean I didn't purchase him? I bought Hahachi on the first damn Tekken. The hell you mean? And then you add Akuma, an official character on the game, with Facade, in Bison. Whoa, y'all, check it out. On this new season, we got characters all the way from Street Fighter 2. Nah. Sorry. I just don't like getting shafted, all right? I'm not a fan of getting shafted. But that's what this conversation is going to be about today. And I'm going to give you some stuff in some legality terms where they're going to try to fake the funk and try to play with you. Just so you know, I am going to cover it. But that's going to be later on in the video. But at first, we got to visit the salty extraordinaire because that's what you're here for. Let's go ahead and get started.
Well, I said I wasn't doing fighters, and then my chat got me to 2,500 subs.
Oh, okay. Right on.
So I said I would do a little bit.
Man, you need to do a bit more, bro. 2,500 subs. What are you doing? Come on, bro. You got to do better than that. You got to do, I mean, at least 3K, man. Come on now. You got to start doing what people are asking you for, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm trying to help you. You ain't got to listen. You know, you ain't got to watch this stuff that you know you watching that you say you ain't watching. Look, bro, that's depressing. I'm going to be honest. I kind of do want to see what happens if it falls to 1,500. Like, I kind of do. Like, I don't want him to get so broke or not make enough to where he just quits altogether, but I do want to see the reaction if it falls back under 2K. It's not that I'm laughing at the fact that he's not making a decent amount of money. I'm just laughing at the fact of his reaction of not making a little bit more to be a decent amount of money, all right? Like, I don't want to see the man homeless or nothing, but I need entertainment, and he don't want to entertain. He came here as an entertainer, and now he doesn't want to entertain, and I need entertainment. And I got to make myself very clear, because, look, this is going to sound crazy, right? If you have never been to this space and you're new here, well, there's a long background that goes to this, because there's new people on YouTube every day. There's new people who find this sector of entertainment every day. Speaking of, which is hilarious, the DSP, the sub-zeros, and man has 0 subs. That was funny. That sounded hilarious either way. Now I know you're probably like, damn bro, you laughing at this dude not making no money or making less money. No. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad. He came specifically to the internet looking for views, and he said he wanted to be an entertainer. He said, you know what? I'm not going to be the one to say it. I'm going to let him say it. If you're new here, if you already been here, well, these are classic clips.
You need to do to get popular or at least frequent on YouTube. You can get a little bit more popular on YouTube or just a little bit more recognized. Let me know in the comment box.
So this is what he said. So I know when you come here, you're probably like, dawg, that's weird that y'all do. It's not that it's weird, okay? We're Venom. We're the symbiote. You don't get to grab hold with the symbiote. Pause. You don't get to get the symbiote. Get the power from the symbiote. And then you say, you know what? I don't want to deal with you anymore. That's not how that works. The symbiote wants to be entertained, and you said this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. And with your decisions and you trolling people and you making fun of people and talking crazy, well, now we're here. We're in overtime. Like, the downfall videos have already come. We're in overtime now. This is Survivor Series. Like 2,500 subs, we are in Survivor Series. So now at this point, we're just seeing how long you're gonna last on here before you either quit or do something else for money. This is what we're doing here. So yeah, that's where we're at. So no, we're not crazy, all right? He's the crazy when we're just observing. Hey, this is a case study. I sound like a super villain, and I just want to let you know I'm not a villain, okay? I just may do things that may appear a little villainous. That's all I'm just saying.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna do it every day.
Yes, you will.
Like, I'm literally gonna get off in a react in like 15 minutes. I'm gonna put my timer.
Bro, you need to react to that sub count and do better. Do better. Be better.
And then I'll extend it a little bit for a prelude tomorrow. Just off that interaction alone, I don't miss playing the game.
I still see that abysmal rank on the side. Two things happen. Either you couldn't reach it or you kept quitting. Either way, you didn't do it. If you're gonna say things, you gotta be a man of your word and see it through. You could be like, it's just a game. It's not about the game. It's not about the game. It's about being a man of your word. That's how you get respect. Keep to your word. If you don't, well, you can't be trusted. And when you can't be trusted, I mean, it affects every aspect of your life. It does. Seems like it doesn't, but trust me when I tell you, an untrustworthy person can't be trusted with anything. Games are small. Life is not. If you can't even do something as small as on a video game, which your stream was based on from the beginning, how can somebody trust you to do anything else? I know it got serious. I know it did. It be like that sometimes.
And it's just so autopilot, man. Bro, why would you do a launcher in that type of... Bro, all right, let me cut off my mic.
And I'm here to tell you, there's only so many times you can do that, man. It's only gonna be so many times. It's a launcher. You're doing strings, the combos, man. It's a fake fighting game. It's only so much you can do that. Come on, man. It's time to get creative. It's time to put in the work. You might need to go ahead and get on that program and get to editing.
Fight.
YOLO. You see how all these scrubs play the game alike? They don't know what to do in neutral, but they can they can run at you and do some random for offensive space.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. There ain't nothing on the game that's unavoidable. There's nothing you cannot get around. There's always a way to not get hit by things. So just get good and stop getting hit by it. But you know, I just wanted to see where it was at, where the rank was at, the progress you were making, and still going nowhere fast, doing the same things. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment.
I'm in the spot.
Yo cat, pop, yo cat. We don't want to hear that.
Rap is an art form. You are supposed to be saying something.
Now, here's the thing. Like, I'm not going to talk bad about people wanting better and all of that. But the thing is, these rappers exist. They're there. You're choosing not to listen to them. I don't understand why you guys are choosing to listen to a Meg Thee Stallion or Nicki Minaj or whoever and complain about the music that they're making. That's their category of music. If you listen to Nicki Minaj or Lil Wayne for 20 years, that's your fault. There's Lupe Fiascos, Rakim, there's all kinds of people. Y'all not listening to them. You know, there was Tech 9. Rakim is still dropping music till this day. You got Jadakiss, you know, Shaq is dropping music. Why is it that I'm hearing these complaints about who's not rapping like what? You got Simba. Y'all are not listening to it. The same way there's productive videos on YouTube, you're not watching them. All y'all make is negative content. Okay, well, how much of the encouraging content are you watching? TBH went through this. He says, all you do is preach hate and hating on stuff. He says, look, positive video, low views, positive video, low views, positive video, low views. Hit you with the Umar Johnson because that's the way that it is. You guys do not care about listening to good music and or rap. Stop.
When I hear y'all music, y'all don't be saying nothing.
Rap is cool and all, but it's getting outplayed, bro. They talk about hoes, money, killing. Bro, I don't want to hear that every day.
But you are choosing to listen to it. YouTube curates playlists in such a way that it's almost kind of disturbing. And if your playlist is only giving you that, what does that mean? The algorithm feeds what you watch. The algorithm feeds what you listen to. I have a phenomenal R&B list. I have a phenomenal rap list. I have a phenomenal pop list. Why is that? Because if I want to curate a playlist, it will curate it based on what I'm listening to, and it will recommend me music in the same category. So that's your fault. If you keep getting drill music and pop that music, that's your fault because that's what you're listening to.
I am tired of the
baking. Like, I'm tired of seeing that. Can we bring back real music videos with real creativity?
The song is called Kissing You. It's about wanting to be with somebody so bad that it's just like kissing you is more than enough. And she took that and made pop that.
I mean, it ain't nothing new. I'm not understanding where the surprise is coming from when this is all that this person has dropped. Why is it that somebody's been doing what they've been known for their whole career, and then you're expecting them to just do something different? Like, I don't.
I've been noticing something off about rap music lately. And I'm not a music critic, okay? We're not about to sit here and talk about mumble rap or flows. What we're getting into is way bigger than that. Because people used to turn up to rap, not only because it sounded good, but because it felt good too.
I gotta correct you. It sounded the same that it always has. And this is one of the things that people are having revisionist history about. We acting like there was no Little Kim, there was no Uncle Luke, there was none of that. What happened was they let you start choosing for yourself. So when all of this got deregulated and they deregulated the market and it became a free market, you guys made the conscious decision to keep listening to this certain type of music. Even growing up, the biggest thing when everybody who's from my era, Lil Wayne, it didn't matter what it was, everything was Lil Wayne or Big Sean or Swishahouse, whatever it was. There was always something very specific that certain people listened to. People were not versatile. They didn't have any versatility in what they listened to. If you was in this car, you knew it was Chopped and Screwed. If you was in this car or your mama car, you knew it was gospel or R&B, KC, JoJo. You knew whose car you was in when you got in a vehicle. But why was that? Because they made a conscious decision to say, this is what I want to listen to. It's always been that way. So if all you're doing is listening to party music and you're controlling what you're listening to, the algorithm is going to cultivate a world around what you're choosing. So you're choosing that. Y'all acting like D-Smoke and all these people don't exist. Like, y'all acting like Simba don't exist. Like, you act like J. Cole don't exist or Kendrick. None of these people exist. That's what's making me laugh about it, because y'all acting like there ain't a Lupe Fiasco. When you talking about you want something with deeper meaning, it don't get deeper than Lupe. You can't even listen to his song one time to even understand what he's saying. You have to listen to his songs almost 10 to 15 times just to grasp the concept truly of what he's talking about, and you might still actually have it wrong. You're choosing not to listen to Hobson's or any of these other people. You choosing that. That's on you. Don't blame rap. Don't get upset with the people who make that kind of music because y'all the ones who supported it, so that's why they're making it. What are we doing?
Well, today, instead of turning up, a lot of people are turning down the volume. From female rappers asserting their dominance through sex to male rappers asserting theirs through violence. It's like every time a new rap song drops, we already know what it's gonna sound like.
And why is that? Is that because what we talk about on this channel? Is that because there's no games? There's no games to play? Is that why? Why is that? I challenge you. Why is it that you know exactly what people are about to say and why is it? Is it because you're so familiar with the field that you can see what's coming because you didn't diversify? You didn't broaden your horizons? All ball and gun games?
And not just in the beat or the music, but in the meaning or the lack of. In today's video, we're gonna look at how and why rap became predictable, performative, and empty, and also why so many people are tired of it.
Go ahead and break that down to me why y'all so tired. let me hear why.
The scene, it wasn't just for entertainment, it was the start of a different type of revolution. And both men and women were shaping that. Rap started in places like Harlem and the South Bronx, in neighborhoods that were overlooked, underfunded, and almost forgotten.
Tell me more.
In these places where people didn't have much, but they still had something to say, rap became the voice that mainstream media never cared to give them.
In this section of the city, not too many families can afford music lessons and things like that. Kids have no place to take music anymore. So in Bronx, what happened was that they figured out a new form of music that didn't take any music lessons, and that is using poetry in a rhythm.
Right. And then what happened? Because see, during that struggle, all you wanted to hear about was struggle. overcoming the struggle, right? But as those tides started to shift, all of a sudden they ain't want to hear about that no more. They said, man, I ain't really trying to hear that boot and back. I ain't trying to hear that struggle rap no more. Then it transitioned to what? Revolutionary rap. Then it changed into what after that? Gangster rap. After that, it transitioned into what? Dancing and party music, Soulja Boy's era. And then it moved again. And then it went back to aggressive gangster rap. See, it's cycles that this thing goes through. Every single time. It's not any different. History just keeps repeating itself over and over again. And then finally, when people wake up to the issues that they have, then it becomes a problem. Like, hey, this is it's been a problem for a while now, but you're so stuck in your own world that you just weren't paying any attention to it.
Their lyrics were filled with a range of topics from race, social class, and politics. And what made it powerful was that it felt lived in.
I hear what you're saying, but it's lived in now. This junkie rap, they live in it now. The depressing rap, emo rap, they live in it now. The gangster, we don't even need to get started about drill. They really live in it now. It's alive, hype. That King Von style, Chicago style, drill style rap. Oh, it's alive, hype. The same way with the conscious and lyric rap. It's alive. People are living in it. That's what I'm saying. Y'all talking, but you ain't paying attention.
Rappers were getting record deals. Music videos were hitting TV stations.
Yeah, I remember that. Them battles on Friday. Yeah, that was classic.
Like MTV and BET. And labels started realizing there was real money in this. But with that kind of attention came an image. The industry started pushing what a rapper was supposed to look and sound like.
Is it? Or was it what people gravitated towards? We had to keep it real. Did people gravitating more towards that, or was it something that was pushed on them? If anything, one thing that you'll learn, you can't force something on somebody that doesn't want it. And it doesn't matter how much money you put behind it, doesn't matter how many commercials there are, because keep in mind, there's plenty of other music they could have been listening to. And what did they choose? There needs to be this level of accountability for choice. If you have freedom of choice and you're choosing certain things, you cannot blame an outside force for what you chose.
Artists like Missy Elliott came onto the scene and she pushed the boundaries without hypersexualizing herself. But a lot of artists were still trapped in that marketable look that labels knew would sell. The men were pushed to be flashier, more aggressive.
That's a thing. You can't though. Because at the same time, like when we're looking at Pac and Hit 'Em Up, there was still Fresh Prince. There was still Martin. There was still influences. You had Cosby. You had all of that. There was influences that did not contribute to that. Now, the thing is about back in the day versus now is there was the versatility. But nobody was incentivizing or pushing towards anything because that wasn't the only music out. People forget there was a lot of other music out. But if the audience keeps choosing a certain type of music, they're going to say this is what we need to make because this is what the demographic is saying. And like I said, it could be due to circumstances, the lifestyle, and the way they're living. But regardless, whether it's just that's what's relatable to them, which is I'm sure that's why they're choosing it, they still made a conscious decision to say, this is the kind of content that I want to listen to. There was still Andre 3000, Outkast, Big Boy, and all of them. There was still them types of rappers that were there. You know, you had a lot of different stuff there. You had Common, and all of these people were in the same time. You know, you had all these people. You had Lauryn Hill and all of them. You had a choice. It wasn't limited to just that type of music. And overall, you know, if people want to call it out, I'm not blaming you for calling it out. Hey, if you're hearing something that you don't co-sign, call it out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But my only issue that I'm having with that is you're trying to make somebody make something that they don't make. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to McDonald's asking them for tacos. Why are you doing that? If you want to hear that kind of music, you got people like, I think it's LMA or LMA, I don't know how she says her name. You got her making music like Boo and Trippin' and stuff like that. Why not listen to the people who make the kind of music you're looking for versus looking at a certain type of artist to make music they don't make? That's a contradiction. I'm not going to Lil Wayne to hear no Lupe style track. I don't turn on Lil Wayne to hear something insightful. That's not why I'm listening to him. People don't turn on Future because they were just expecting this highly elaborate story track with all these lyrics and expressions and metaphors. No, it's like you want to hear punchlines, you want to turn on somebody like Hobson if you just want to hear metaphors and punchlines. If you want to hear somebody closer to that kind of rock side, but not really, but more hardcore rap side, you're going to go to Tech 9. You're going to go to Twista, somebody who's rapping fast. If you want some of that college dropout type of rap, you're going to go to old school Kanye. I don't know about the new Kanye, but the old Kanye. You want club music? There was people for that. You went where you wanted to go for what you wanted to listen to. But overall, it was a pretty good video, how she put it all together. And of course, the link will be below. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment.
Your FANG employees re-entering the job market after layoffs.
I'm a recent college grad looking for a job, and today I learned that not only are we competing with all of the people last year who couldn't get jobs, we are also competing with people who are currently working in entry-level jobs and looking to switch companies because their companies aren't promoting them because the market is so bad.
Yeah. And that warning's been there. And the crazy thing is, even though these complaints are here and these jobs, these fake job listings and this AI and all of this, these companies are still being supported to this day. Even despite the fact of all the things that they're doing, they're still being supported.
A recruiter I just got off the phone with told me that I'm going up against someone who has 2 years of postgraduate full-time work experience.
The same thing happened, like if you're around my age, you know this same thing happened whenever we were like all 21 to like 24. Because like back then, that's whenever the recession happened after 2008.
That's a fact, man. Getting a job at that time, it was rough.
And it was almost impossible to get a job back then. Like you were competing against people that had 5 or 10 years of experience. And it was like, okay, well, how am I ever going to get a job when every job has like 4 applicants and you know, you need to have experience to get experience, but you don't have any experience, so you can't get any experience. And you can't get any experience because you don't have any experience. It's like the unemployment catch-22 that keeps people like her and any other young person that's graduating college in this like limbo. And what happens is that now they have their student loan debt that's compounding and building on top of itself.
Let me get this straight. We have retirees, new graduates, blue collar and white collar, government employees, senior FANG employees, all fighting over a dwindling number of jobs.
And that's the thing that's crazy is the fact of if all of these jobs are going, then where are people supposed to work? Because the more and more that people lose and the more power that these companies get, which is why even though it's just gaming, this goes far beyond gaming. This goes way bigger than what you're thinking it does. Like when we say about the VC, how we say about stop supporting these systems as far as even when we talk about Adobe and Photoshop and all of that, they're talking about Creative Cloud. No, you can't buy the program. And this is one thing that I'm gonna tell you about a loophole about this with how that works. When they have a quote unquote subscription, the subscription only applies to content that has residuals or basically like music. One thing that like basically when you watch it, they have to get paid per play. Does that make sense? Because if you have a song and the song's on TikTok, a song's on Instagram, a song is on YouTube, every time it gets played, that person gets a residual. They get a royalty for that. They get paid for that. But however, you can buy that album and the royalties done with. Once you buy it, you bought it, you have ownership of that. Well, what these companies try to do is they're trying to use the Netflix model. Now, these movies on Netflix and all of this, of course, you can do a monthly subscription because you don't own these products, but you can buy them if you want them. You can individually buy them from whether it's the website or wherever you want to get it. You can own your version of it, whether it's tangible and or digital. And you don't have to keep paying the membership. You pay that membership for the services. Now, for things like Photoshop, where they're talking about cloud and all of this, and they say you got to do the annual or you got to do the monthly, where it comes out to be roughly about $250, $300 for one program a year. Well, then that's the total cost of that program, right? Or when you're talking about $22 a month, however you're wanting to say it, regardless, that's what it is. You can't come over here and dictate and tell people, because remember, you can't take a digital product. The only thing that gets you in trouble with a digital product, because it's not physical. You can't steal something that's not physical nor tangible. Now, if you distribute it, that's a different story. And even on top of that, they still have to be able to prove that you did it, because they can't prove it. Everything will be inconclusive, because when it comes down to situations like this in court, it ain't about what you know, it's about what you can prove. And if you cannot prove this 100% undeniable facts, it will not hold up. Stop letting them punk you like that. Stand up and say, you ain't doing that no more, and just handle your business.
That's it.
Genuinely terrifies me as unemployment keeps rising and millions of us are fighting over fewer jobs, all while the economy is horrible. We're handing unprecedented power to these corporations.
Well, here's what's happening is that as robotics, technology, AI, automation, and other forms of technology in general, as it advances, what it's going to do is it's going to create it's going to erode the inside of the, let's look at, like, in terms of it, like 3 different like sections of people, right? The bottom 10%, the middle 80%, and the top 10%. The top 10% will have an unprecedented in history amount of wealth consolidation that would make the COVID recession recovery look like a joke.
And honestly, that's why there needs to be an excessive tax on the rich like it used to be. And these benefits and these programs need to be given to more people who are going through things, even because the unfortunate thing is, if you're somebody who has a full-time job and you fall within this middle line, even though you're broke, you don't get any help. You don't get any benefits. You pay more taxes than anybody. And to go in and explain what that means, basically, they pay more taxes than anybody because they get no benefit from it. They're not able to get food stamps. They're not able to get Medicaid. They have to pay their own insurance because they're not low income enough, and they don't get the tax breaks because they're working typically regular jobs. Because all the people who fall in that middle bracket who work full-time jobs, they can't write anything off for real, and they're not broke enough to get helped with anything, quote unquote. Now back to the video. And this is the middleman that's aggravated at the situation because he's like, yo, I can't get any benefits. I'm broke. I have to pay for my insurance. I have to do this, I have to do that, and I can't afford it. And on paper, they make a whole lot more money, but that doesn't translate to what's actually in their pocket. And that's one of the steps to how they make an enemy of the common man. So what they do is they'll say, we'll give these people a little bit more than these people. We'll make enemies out of each other. And in that way, when they'll be fighting each other over stupid things, at the end of the day, if you're not a part of the top percentile, you're not the one racking in billions a year, trillions a year, these people do not represent you. It doesn't matter if they're red or blue. Doesn't matter what they do. They're not for you. So let me make it very clear. This is the time when you say, okay, I don't need that membership. You think about this. All right. Let's say you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got Peacock, you got YouTube Premium, you got all these services, right? When it's all said and done, you spending over $100+ a month in services. You can't even consume all the content and get your money worth. Whether it's Spotify, iTunes, whatever it is, Tidal, whichever ones you're using, you have a finite amount of time for entertainment. And more times than not, a lot of y'all are on YouTube. So if you're predominantly on YouTube or consuming content on YouTube, why are you paying for streaming services? You can say, oh, well, I'll watch one movie here and there. It's not making up for, you get what I'm saying? It's not making up for what you're spending because you only have a certain amount of time a day and you're not even utilizing these entire libraries. So this is when I say, when we start talking about programs, what people can do, what companies can do, and what they can't do, as far as those streaming services, you SOL. If you're paying for that, you're paying for the royalties. And for those Poindexters, obviously the fees that go to the royalties for the subscription, not literally the royalties themselves, the pool that goes into the funds to pay the royalties. Because I know you always got that guy. Sorry about that. I got to do that because people go too far. Of the movies and the things that you're watching, as far as programs that have an issue with you, because you have to look at what they do in these programs. And if these programs are just only programs and they don't do anything, they cannot make you pay monthly for them. They could try, but they can't make you. You can't even, you can't hold possession over a digital product because it's not tangible. But that's not the discussion today. I'm gonna say it one more time. We're being generous because you have no control over something that is digital, and you can't dictate what somebody does with a digital program in their own time, in their own space, and or what they do with it because it's not physical and they didn't take it from you. So you can't steal something that's not taken from you. It's not stolen if it's still in your possession. That's that catch-22 about it. You see what I mean? So the only time you fall into issues is through distribution of the non-physical, because then you're putting it in other people's hands, but even then they still got to prove it. And overall, you know, I don't want to ramble, I don't want to go on too long, but I want you to understand that you have a lot more power than you think you have. The way the world works is not just, oh, because the people with money said so, that's the rules. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's always nuances in there, because if it was the case, if people with all the money just automatically had to say so, trust me, things would be far more unfair. But you guys have been allowing it to happen for so long with no pushback. They just keep on and keep on and keeping on. Like, look at Nintendo. Nintendo's literally breaking the law, telling you, I'm bricking your console. That is destruction of personal property. You do not have the right to do that. The only thing Nintendo can do is restrict you from their live services, because live services are not mandatory to your console. What's mandatory for your console is gameplay functionality and internet, but it's not mandatory to have access to Nintendo's live services. As saying this, to go to Nintendo.com and use their services on there, no. But as far as the Wi-Fi, it has to function because it came on there, so you're able to use the internet regardless. They can't break it. Now, what they can do, if you have a violation within the games, like say for example, harassment online, you're cheating, things like that, things where it would actually cost them monetarily because you're violating online, then they can ban you from multiplayer. They can ban you from those specific games by that profile, because that's the one you were specifically using. But once you start a new one, it starts over. That's it. But you can't take away the functionality of the console and what it's supposed to do because you feel some type of way. That's not how that works. And the reason why only the profile is because regardless what's said here, you paid for a specific functionality and that has to be provided. If that functionality is not provided, then they have to give you your money back. They have to. They cannot take away any services or anything that was applicable to that game or to that console or whatever it was, because you did something that they didn't want you to do. If they have a problem with people doing or using things a certain type of way, the only way around it is for them to not sell it. But they cannot overreach onto your personal property and tell you what you can and cannot do with it. And ironically, LTG is right. I bet you didn't expect me to say that, did you? He's actually right. When you spend your money for something, you can ban the profile, but you cannot take away the functionality of the product. If they have an issue with how people are using that product, the only way around it is for them not to sell it. But they cannot remove the functionality from that product because that's what you paid for. They don't have the right to ground you and punish you because you use it this way. They are not your parent. You are not people's parents. Stop. If you don't like the way people are using it, stop making consoles then. But you can't overstep and break somebody's game. You can't do it. And as far as these live service programs, live service pro scams, and then here's the real talk. Get it functional, ain't nothing they can do about it. Take that how you will. Take it however you take that statement. Once it's on your computer, get it functional, ain't nothing they can do about it. But you know, people gonna do whatever they want to do. But if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.